Ciryl Gane is maybe a next opponent for you?
Well, he can fight Almeida first because he refused the fight with me. So now, before he jumps back in and waits for his shot, he can fight Almeida. Them guys can fight, and the winner can fight me.
Yeah, I'm not a bully. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't want the fight, I'm not going to try and force it on him. I wanted to go in the cage. The UFC didn't want me to go in the cage. Yeah, if he wants the fight, it's here. If he doesn't want the fight, we'll see. I know that I'm a bad matchup for him.
Tom Aspinall has made a shocking announcement in the Jon Jones saga, declaring he will no longer defend his interim heavyweight title. He's drawn a firm line, sending a clear message to both Jon Jones and the UFC leadership, demanding resolution and recognition or a path to the undisputed crown.
You want problem with this guy? You want problem?
But that's not all. Tom Aspinall has fired back with a savage response to Jon Jones's latest social media antics from Thailand. This heavyweight rivalry just hit a whole new level. I'm breaking down every detail, including who might actually win if Jones and Aspinall stepped into the octagon today. Drop your predictions in the comments. Team Jones or Team Aspinall? Let's see where everyone stands.
You are now the longest reigning interim champion.
Yeah, it's a lot of that is bull, isn't it? That is not something that I wanted. No, it's not something that I'm not that proud of that one, to be honest. The interim title's nice, but the longest reigning one, I obviously wanted to contend for the undisputed in the time that I've been interim. So
it's coming.
It's coming.
Let's start with the biggest headline. Tom Aspinall has officially confirmed he will not defend the interim heavyweight title again. And this isn't just an emotional reaction or an empty threat. It's a calculated, strategic move aimed directly at Jon Jones and the UFC. In his latest video, Aspinall stated clearly, "I'm never defending the interim title again." He emphasized that the UFC should have only one champion per division. "I already defended the interim once, and that's almost unheard of. Honestly, I thought it was silly the first time." This bold stance now puts immense pressure on Jones and UFC leadership.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of that. It's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. The worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. It doesn't matter.
Aspinall explained why he defended the interim title once. His fight with Curtis Blades was unfinished business after their previous bout ended with a devastating leg injury. Plus, it took place in his hometown of Manchester, a rare opportunity he couldn't pass up. But those unique circumstances no longer apply. According to reports, the UFC recently approached Aspinall about defending the interim belt against Ciryl Gane, and his response was essentially, hell no. He believes he's cleared out the rest of the division and now deserves recognition as the undisputed best heavyweight on the planet. No more detours.
Dismissed me on multiple occasions, and I'm not the first guy that he's dismissed. The reason that I got the Pavlovich fight was because Ciryl didn't want it. He then took Curtis Blades. I just don't like the way he does stuff professionally, because that's the opposite to what I do. I'm here to prove I'm the best, not duck out of fights with people.
There's nowhere to go for Johnny. He either has to fight me or retire now. And if he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me.
House for Ilya Topuria, and that man's looking for a fight. What does that mean? The interim heavyweight champion.
We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew a zip and I'm still sober. Zaza, that's mid, I'ma need me some gas. Call up Khalifa. Bring him a queen in the KK. You know, stay with some bad little baby. TGOD, baby, no, that's a gang gang.
Of the year, Jones versus Aspinall, is that sort of the big priority, and you think that's the biggest fight the promotion can put on in 2025?
100%. And I think it's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight history, and it's a massive fight in the history of the company too.
Would you say? Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm over here sipping on coconut, talking about when you gonna fight.
If you want the hardest fight possible, fight at your natural weight then.
Yeah.
Like, nobody fights at the natural weight. Everyone's cutting loads of weight.
Yeah.
So if you're cutting loads of weight, that means that you want an advantage on your opponent to make it easy for yourself. They're depleting themselves of like 10, 15 pounds the day before.
Yep.
They're taking all that water off the brain, and then the next day they're going completely exhausting themselves and taking punches to the head. I think long term, it's not the best idea.
Taking to fight me, and that is where we're at. Like, the UFC tell me, they assure me that they are doing everything they can to make this fight. So it's totally, as far as I'm aware, this is now totally down to Jon Jones and his team to work that out. And I'm literally just waiting for a date. But what's holding it back is the UFC want to make the fight with me and Jon. And as far as I'm aware, it's now about, I don't know, maybe financial or otherwise, I'm not too sure, to be honest, but I'm just waiting for the call right now. So remember what I said quite a while ago now, I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him. That's something that I said. And Jon, let's do it. If you want to do it, you don't have to ask me twice. If not, I'll fight somebody else for the undisputed belt. Happy to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter.
Ciryl tweeted that he thinks you should be careful what you wish for, and he'll see you in Paris. How do you think you match up against Ciryl?
I better be careful, apparently. Yeah. I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power. And I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight, especially with me.
It's asking for a huge financial packages to get this fight over the line. Do you think that's justified, him asking for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think with what he's done in his career, he should get that much money. And fair play. If he gets it, that's amazing. Good for him.
I wonder though, because obviously he's got a storied background. We've got the PEDs and other things with him. Do you think that with that, it kind of the kind of fairness of UFC, the fact that he's pulling all the shots and making the demands, even though he does have this storied background?
Well, you brought it up, not me. I'm just putting that out there. No, do you know what? My job's to fight people, innit? Like, I'm just a dumb cage fighter. That's all. So my job is to get in there. The bell goes, I go across and fight somebody, and that's all I can do. If they offer me a fight, I'll take it, and if they don't, I won't. Simple as that. Really.
Jon Jones listening to this right now. What is your message to the man?
I don't have a message. I've had enough. Let me fight somebody. I'm not bothered who it is. Just let me fight.
495 days you've been the interim champ. How much longer are you willing to wait?
I just want to fight somebody. I'm a professional fighter and I want to fight somebody. I'm overweighting, to be honest. But whoever wants it, whether that's Jon Jones or somebody else, I will fight somebody sometime.
Jon Jones' legacy is intact, and all the stuff he's saying, there's been this story that's been going on and on and on and on. But this one I could understand why it may have upset people, triggered people. Did you guys see on his IG Live, he was talking about the accusations that he is a duck, that he's ducking Tom Aspinall. Look, he's doing this reality show with Nathan Diaz in Russia, and I'm told that the money is just absurd. It's astronomical, get paid, well-deserved, both legends of the game. I totally understand it. But here's the part that I very much disagree with him. It's not about you, Jon. It's not about you. It's not about your life. It's not about your story. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be a part of a reality show, if you want to take that money and delay things and hold someone else's dreams back from becoming a reality, that is ducking. that is ducking, because there is a time-honored tradition in this business, in the sport, in combat sports, in fight sports, in sports period, that the whole thing has to move along. It's not about your story.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
You know, I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC. I do view myself as more than a fighter. And being in my position, I feel like I have a lot more options than a lot of the other fighters as far as the ability to leave and return and things like that. And so right now, I'm just focusing on love, happiness, kindness. We're in the quarter century mark. And this year should be a really special year. So this year, I'm saying yes to more opportunities. Hence me being here, meeting you.
So grateful.
I'm glad that I'm doing this. I've been meeting so many great people. I'm saying yes to more opportunities. I'm traveling more. I'm consciously being kinder to people. And that's just the way that I'm on right now. It's just like love and kindness and peace, and focusing on family and focusing on me.
Over 100,000 UFC fans have signed a petition to strip Jon Jones of the heavyweight title. Jon is going to enjoy that there was 100,000 people that are being agitated by him. He needs a little anger. I just have to remind you, I don't believe he's ever said he wouldn't do it. The UFC with this fight has been very unique. Whatever Jon and what's said on a phone call, it stays right there. Now that's called nice Dana. Nice Dana gets a lot of fight done. Mad Dana gets every fight done. You will know when Mad Dana arrives, when you start getting revealed to you what was said on these calls. That's the clue to you that this date is sneaking up on us a little faster than the ink is drying on the pen. But as that date gets closer, if those bout agreements don't start coming closer together, you're going to see Mean Dana. But either way, you're going to see Jon and Tom fight.
Be a great mentor to some of these young guys that are coming up and make it to heaven.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
You know, I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition.
Anyway, is there a fight that Dana White wants to see in the UFC above all else in 2025?
So I get asked this every year, and this year, it would be Aspinall Jones. That's the biggest fight in heavyweight history. And at the end of the day, what my job is to give the fans what they want. And that's what.
I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good. I don't think it works like that.
Has to be in control of it. And Jon is the master manipulator, and he's a master at the mind games that are behind this sport. He's been doing it for so many years against the best guys in the world. So I understand that Tom Aspinall has this fighter mindset where he wants to say, I'm better than you and you think you're better than me, and so I'm gonna keep attacking that. Jon doesn't care about any of that. The person who cares the least in every negotiation wins. Jon Jones does not care what Tom Aspinall wants, and
if you're Jon Jones and you're fighting a guy like Tom Aspinall, how would you bring the war to a guy like Tom?
He's doing the right thing. He's no-selling. Like, he's acting like he does not matter. Make him just angry. And just don't give him what he wants. Don't give him what he wants until eventually, yo, did you see the house Jon Jones just bought?
Hey,
Jon Jones doing all right, though. Did you see Jon Jones' house?
I said congratulations.
Jon Jones doing all right, man. Jon Jones don't need Tom Aspinall.
No, he doesn't, but if he was, let's say, dude, because you never know.
You think he should fight this guy?
No, I think.
Right. Jon Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished.
I remember when I locked on to him as far as static strength goes, I've never felt anybody like that in my life. Here's one memory I have. I'm in his guard, we're working. He grabs both my wrists And I kind of sit up for a second, and I can't release his grip. He literally scoots his ass out, pulls his ankles behind him, and stands up with my hands.
That was in his prime anymore. So, I don't think anything special that performance. I think Jon needs to stop ducking Tom Aspinall, just like he ducked Nagano. He ducked Nagano for years. Now he's ducking Aspinall. So he doesn't want to fight the guys he knows he's getting his ass whooped against. So I don't think anything special to Jon.
So I think if you look at Jon Jones' early career, right? Jon Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished for sure. Wins the title, the earliest, youngest guy to ever win the title in the UFC. Beats Mauricio Shogun Rua, who's a legend. And then the way he dominates all these other fighters, up until you get to Alexander Gustafsson, you could make the
When all Jones fights happens.
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against.
Sitting here, if you had to put your money on it, what do you think is the headliner of UFC 317?
If I had to put my money on it, I think they convinced Tom Aspinall to fight Ciryl Gane.
Okay, that's.
I think if I had to put my money on it, I think that's the one that's being this far out. Like we're a couple weeks away, and
it's 2 months.
Yeah, we're 2 months out, and I think that they'll throw a number.
Jon Jones that you saw will not be the Jon Jones that fights Tom Aspinall. Teddy Atlas. I had this conversation with Teddy, and I said, Coach, he's not missing. He's spinning around backwards where he can't even see the opponent. I don't think he missed a shot against Stipe. When I spoke to Tom said he was watching slow motion. He said, I got all the respect for Stipe, but he was simply too slow, and Jon was too slow. Not one of those spins, not one of those.
Had to put your money on it, what do you think is the headliner of UFC 317?
If I had to put my money on it, I think they convinced Tom Aspinall to fight Ciryl Gane. I think if I had to put my money on it, I think that's the one that's being this far out. Like we're a couple weeks away, and
it's 2 months.
Yeah, we're 2 months out, and I think that they'll throw a number. Like Tom wants to fight, and he'll be like, all right, I'll fight.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, Jon is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Olin St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. Be like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of him.
And the work that he's put in, or lack thereof, I think he could have a tremendous future in the UFC. But the only champion he's ever fought against or beat was Andrei Arlovski, who way past his prime. So it's like you're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion. I would say the person that's most deserving, it would be Alex Pereira. Alex has beat many champions. He's knocking out everybody left and right. The type of fights that I'm looking for.